18 in the NFL is ahead. A lot of winner-take-all situations, and you talk about some of the marquee staples in the NFL and two programs, two franchises that they just represent playoff football to me. They reside in the AFC North, where we have something really interesting brewing here because of some issues that happened in Week 17. It kind of creates a really interesting scenario for Week 18. The Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers in a winner-take-all situation.
The Ravens, I'm holding up a 4 because the Ravens had a 4% chance before Week 17 to make the playoffs.
Wow.
Because they need the Steelers to win out and Baltimore to win out.
Yep.
And what happens? Derrick Henry, who would have thought that if you feed Derrick Henry, you're going to win a game? And I think, John Harbaugh heard the noise from a few weeks ago about, wow, why did you not give the ball to Derrick Henry in the second half at all? 4 rushing touchdowns, 200-plus rushing yards in the win. I mean, this dude he's timeless. He's so good.
Yeah.
And he's just one of those guys that if Baltimore gets another shot in the playoffs, if they win this weekend against Pittsburgh, I honestly think they have the better future than Pittsburgh does and the better possibility of the two to actually win a few games.
Yeah, with no Lamar Jackson in the game, it was all put on Derrick Henry. And you mentioned it being timeless. He is at an age where most running backs start to fade. Yeah. Not for any other reason, but just, that much wear and tear on your body, being hit by professional defensive players, especially in that division. I know he hasn't played in that division his entire career, but over the last 2 years, he has had, I think, the highest, as far as carries go, almost the highest usage rate of any running back over the last 2 years. And for him to be able to go out and do that, the former Alabama running back, it seems like there are times when he runs the football, if you were to just take away the jersey and just take away the helmet and the field that they're playing on, it looks like 22-year-old, 23-year-old that was playing there in Tuscaloosa at Alabama. I think he said the last time he had 36 carries wasn't even in college.
Goodness.
The last time it was back in high school.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really surprise me at all. And I know one of the things that has kind of hampered his performance a little bit this year are the fumble problems. He had the crucial fumble against Buffalo in the game to open up the year that led to the major comeback. But as you mentioned, 36 carries, 216 rush yards, 4 touchdowns, and I put there at the bottom because it's starting to get to that time of year.
Yeah,
almost 46 fantasy points. So if you went up against him this week, I'm sorry. I gladly eliminated the team that had him in my league the week before. So get him on out of here. You can put up 46 points all you want in the third place game, just don't do it in the championship game.
Right.
Just absolutely unreal performance.
Yeah, he absolutely wrecked some fantasy leagues. Or if you had him, congratulations, because you got a nice run out of him, both literally and figuratively. Is this something that in your mind is sustainable? Can they rely, maybe not 36 carries, but can they rely on Derrick Henry being the guy, or do you have to see something from Lamar Jackson if he were to get back on the field?
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot to be made of Lamar Jackson's future. If he doesn't play in this game, is he done with Baltimore? Like, I know there's been some rumblings about potential growing frustration within the Baltimore organization. It seems like he is trying to do absolutely everything to carry this team into the playoffs.
Right.
They had the run to the AFC Championship game a few years ago, but ultimately were eliminated by the Chiefs. So, I mean, who knows what his future is going to look like. But if you're going to beat the Steelers team, you got to be able to rely on Derrick Henry and then hit Zay Flowers whenever you need to.
Yeah, absolutely. Derrick Henry talked after that 200-plus yard performance and 4 touchdowns to keep his team alive for the playoffs.
Tonight was just really fun. Just like Coach said, I did the prayer before the game, and I just talked about guys just playing free and trusting and believing in each other. Now, we've been through a lot this season. I mean, there's no shying away from that. We know what we need to do to be able to still give ourselves a chance. And that's just playing for each other and understanding that, the Lord's going to be there with us regardless. And he's been there with us this whole time. So, hats off to guys just blocking, O-line, like Coach Harbaugh said, tight ends, receivers, fullbacks. It's the unselfishness of them, sacrificing, their bodies, for us to have success in the run game and dominate the line of scrimmage and dictate the game the way we want to.
So the Ravens had their prayers answered, so to speak, because the Steelers lost to the Cleveland Browns in a game that is still head-scratching to me. I could see if Shedeur Sanders just went off for 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, and they just weren't able to keep up. They lost 13-6, and this is a team that feels like with a Hall of Fame quarterback and with Hall of Fame playmakers all around, this feels like a team that is limping into this Week 18 game while the Ravens are surging.
What did I tell you yesterday? There's just some mischievous energy around this game. You gotta bet the script, so to speak. I had my nice win. I should have included this game because I probably would have won a lot more money. I won $190. I probably would have won probably north of $1,000 had I thrown the Browns money line in there. But all eyes were on Myles Garrett if he's going to break the sack record.
That's right.
And he still hasn't. And honestly, that might be tainted at this point because it's the extra game, and everyone wants to bring up the extra game with these new records and stuff. But no, the Steelers were an embarrassment last week. I think it just goes to show that Aaron Rodgers, your time might be up here. But let me pose this scenario: if the Steelers lose, is Tomlin out?
I think that you could start to make that argument because I know that everybody's argument for Mike Tomlin has always been the fact that he's never had a losing season. And going into this game, the Steelers right now are 9-7. So let's just say that they win this game, and let's just say, they lose this game, lose the first round of the playoffs. He still won't have a losing season. He'd be 9-9 overall, even if they were to win this game lose this game and then lose the playoffs. Okay, so in my opinion, I think that the Mike Tomlin being able to keep his job because he hasn't had a losing season, that is starting to wear off.
Yeah.
Especially because how many times have we seen a new coach enter a new situation and just like that the entire program changes?
Yeah.
We saw that in Chicago. Ben Johnson enters the scene, new coach, you change the mindset of the culture, you change the mindset of your quarterback, able to rejuvenate. The New England Patriots, I know it's my squad, but same situation there. Mike Vrabel steps in, you have a young quarterback, they're able to get it right. Do the Steelers look around the NFL and say, Liam Cohen is another perfect example of this, a veteran quarterback, you go in there, change it immediately. Do the Steelers look around and say, hey, we just need a new voice?
Yeah.
And say, hey, just wipe everything clean. Wipe away clean from Aaron Rodgers. Try to find a quarterback. I know they won't have a great draft pick, but find another quarterback and get rid of, unfortunately, Mike Tomlin. That's what I think. If I'm a Steelers fan, the thing that made Mike Tomlin keep his job might be the thing that might make him not keep his job, because you just can't run this narrative of we haven't failed without having the success on the back end.
I think at the very least, Arthur Smith is going to be fired after this year.
Yeah.
I think you have to pull the plug on that at least. If you're Mike Tomlin and you've got one more year, you're like, all right, this is your ultimatum. You've got one more year to turn things around. You got to get rid of him. But I almost feel like if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you have to fire him because you have the most expensive defense and you can't even make the playoffs. Like what in the world is going on here? But when you look around the league, who do you hire? All of the good coaching, all the good coordinators were in last cycle. We saw Liam Cohen, and he's been able to turn around Jacksonville.
Right.
As you mentioned,
Ben
Johnson, yeah. I mean, he's turned around. He started to kind of take Caleb Williams, and instead of Caleb being the laughingstock this year, he started to slowly develop him into the guy that he wants him to be. You just look around the NFL right now, and there's just the coordinators you're looking for are just haven't really been able to step up. And I mean, obviously, you're not going to go and get Chicago's guy because Ben Johnson's calling all the plays. The good head coaches, it's not like their coordinators are calling the plays; it's them calling the plays.
Yeah, they're taking their responsibilities as coordinators and they're transitioning that into their role as head coaches. So the well that everybody always ends up going to, Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay and all these guys, it seems like their staffs have been locked up. So now, do you go back? Do you do some retreads? Do you do a Mike McCarthy or do you do a Brian Daboll? Some of these guys that have been out of the game for a while, I don't know, but it'll be really interesting to see what happens there with Mike Tomlin and this football team.
Robert Saleh,
as they move forward.
Defense.
Maybe Saleh is actually probably, of all the coordinators, I'd say he's probably.
Does he get another chance though? I mean, the offense was so putrid.
I just think that everybody can just bypass the Jets by saying it's the Jets and nobody can win there.
Yeah,
I just think that everybody could just do
just
a
look at Sam Darnold.
Exactly right. I think everybody could just do a mental reset and say,
Look at Geno Smith.
right. All these reclamation projects that left the Jets and were able to revive their careers. I think that now everybody who's at the Jets, you almost get a mulligan because it's like, sorry, you couldn't win there. Yeah. Nobody could. They're in that.
Joe Namath.
Exactly. And they're in that environment as they look for their first Super Bowl since like 1969 or whatever.